Working harder versus working smarter. I think a lot of this comes from the way I grew up. When I was a kid, I would watch my parents and my grandparents constantly doing something, working, fixing things, building things. Of course, there were vacations, celebrations, and moments of rest, but those felt they were few and far between. What really stuck with me was the simple idea: if you want something better, you need to work for it. And honestly, I still believe in that. Looking back, I think that mindset developed into what I like to call today tenacity. It helped me get through engineering school, it helped me finish graduate school, it helped me get a job, to get promoted, it helped me increase my income. And while all of that was happening, I wasn't really reflecting on it. I was simply in the middle of it. I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do. The interesting thing is that the educational system, while imperfect, it does provide something that many people don't appreciate. They take it for granted, and that is a direction. The rules are relatively clear. You study more, you learn more, you pass the exam, you get a degree, then you get a job. And the relationship between effort and outcome isn't perfect, but it is predictable enough that hard work is usually rewarded. In a strange way, I think that long-term investment is something very similar. The economy is this massive machine with incredible inertia behind it. It has been growing, innovating, and moving forward for a very long time. Now, nothing is guaranteed, but historically, if you had consistently invested in the US economy through something like an index fund, the odds are generally in your favor. Again, not certainty, but probability. The trouble today is that this is not very exciting. It lacks the thrill, and more people are looking for asymmetric returns, getting rich quickly, finding a shortcut, winning the lottery, so to speak, whether that's through business, through trading, through social media, or something else. And eventually that message found its way to me as well. I grew up in a traditional environment. My family believed in education, career, stability, and hard work. Investment, for example, was never really discussed. In fact, when I grew up, putting money into the stock market was considered incredibly risky. People trusted real estate, people trusted cash, and people trusted things that they could physically see. And then I moved to the United States and I got exposed to a completely different way of thinking. The stock market was one exposure, for example. Investing, entrepreneurship, the 4-hour work week, rich dad, poor dad, financial freedom. And Jesus Christ, it's easy to become excited by some of this because it sounds possible. Someone else did it, and you ask this question to yourself, well, why can't I do it as well? And what you end up doing is you start imagining a very different future. You start dreaming. And somewhere along the way, you forget something important, that fast money is definitely possible. But man, it is improbable. Building a successful business is also possible. Taking a small trading account into something that's meaningful is also possible. Growing a YouTube channel is definitely possible. None of these things are impossible. The problem is that possibility and probability are not the same thing. And I think this is where I got confused for years. I took a principle that had worked incredibly well throughout my life, which is hard work, and I tried to use it to compensate for this uncertainty. I thought that if I work hard enough, eventually the outcome would show up. If trading wasn't working, I would study more. If investing wasn't working, I was just going to try another strategy. If YouTube wasn't growing, then I would simply make more and more videos. And I was thinking that more effort would result with something with the outcome that I expected. The problem was that effort wasn't the missing ingredient. What was missing was clarity. I'd like you to take this YouTube channel as an example. I started this channel because I wanted to document my own journey and share what I was learning. I genuinely thought that there would be more interest than what the channel has been so far. And first of all, I truly appreciate all of you who had subscribed and who had stuck around and who have viewed some of my videos. But if I'm being honest, looking back, I can see a problem. One week I was talking about trading, another week about investing, another week about a very specific setup. I would go into a weekly analysis. In a different week, I would talk about mindset. So from my perspective, I was working hard. I was constantly creating content. But the hard work lacked specificity. And what I noticed that even YouTube probably didn't know what the audience was supposed to be. And if YouTube didn't know, how could it know who to distribute the videos to? The effort was there, but the direction wasn't. I can say something very similar about my trading journey. For years, I was changing strategies. I was listening to different people. I was trying different systems. I was searching for certainty, searching for confirmation, searching for something that would make me feel confident enough to commit. Meanwhile, the boring stuff quietly kept working in the background. Long-term investing, dollar cost averaging, consistency. Again, nothing exciting, nothing worth bragging about. Just a proven approach that kept moving forward while I was busy chasing something more extraordinary. And I think that is the lesson I've been slowly learning. Hard work is still incredibly important. I don't believe in laziness. I don't believe in shortcuts. But I no longer believe that hard work can compensate for uncertainty. The less certain the path is, the more important clarity becomes. The less certain the path, the more important focus becomes. Because effort is a multiplier. And if the direction is wrong, all you're doing is getting lost faster. So these days, before I ask myself how hard I should work, I try to ask a different question. Am I solving the correct problem? Because the older I get, the more I realize that some of the biggest wins in my life didn't come from working harder, that they came from finally understanding where my effort belonged. So thank you for hearing me out. If you resonated with this message, please like the video and consider subscribing. Until next time.